Cimoooooooo! Welcome to Tech Tuesday, a weekly series where we discuss some awesome tech cards as well as help make you a better player. This week's card is Chain Disappearance, a really awesome trap card that's going to make your opponent's most annoying cards disappear. Chain Disappearance reads, when a monster is summoned with 1,000 or less attack points, you banish that monster, and then you search your opponent's hand and deck for every monster with the same name as that monster, and you banish those as well. So think of it kind of like a Nobleman of Crossout, but in a trap card form. There are two things that makes Chain Disappearance really awesome. It doesn't target and it banishes, so it dodges cards that are protected by destruction and by targeting effects. So you can use this on a card like Fortune Tune, which has all of its protection capabilities, and Chain Disappearance will just say, nope, banished, fuck you, you're done. Another cool little trick with Chain Disappearance is that you can use it as sort of a counter side card. Now what I mean by that is Flying Sea is becoming a relatively popular card against a lot of decks, and so if you use Chain Disappearance when your opponent summons a Flying Sea to your side of the field, you can activate Chain Disappearance, banish Flying Sea, and then banish all of the other Flying Seas in their deck. Now, what makes Chain Disappearance a good tech card? Well, let's look at some of the best decks in the format and see how we can use Chain Disappearance to our advantage. Chain Disappearance is incredible against the Burning Abyss matchup, because it can hit cards like Tour Guide from the Underworld, you can hit Graph, which then will not trigger its effect because it's not sent to the graveyard, and you can also hit Dante with this card as well. Now, even though when Dante gets banished, the monsters attached to it might get their effects, but you're preventing your opponent from just looping back and forth between Dante and their other Burning Abyss monsters. And with 2,500 defense, Dante can pose a real problem to some decks, so Chain Disappearance is a really good out in the Burning Abyss matchup. You can also use Chain Disappearance against SHADDOLLs if your opponent ever decides to flip face up a SHADDOLL Hedgehog or a SHADDOLL FALCO. Now that might not seem like a big deal, but being able to banish all of your opponent's SHADDOLL Hedgehogs or SHADDOLL Falcos really slows down the deck, because then they don't have the capability to special summon monsters with Falco, and they don't have the ability to search monsters with Hedgehog. You can even use Chain Disappearance against Madolches, because you can use Chain Disappearance on Madolche Angeli, and not only are you banishing the first copy of Angeli, you're banishing all three of them. So that is going to completely slow down the Madolche deck. Batterymen have started becoming a relatively popular deck since the introduction of Batteryman 9V. But with Chain Disappearance, you can totally slow down their deck, because you can hit their Batteryman 9V or their Batteryman Microcell and just totally hinder their plays. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about Chain Disappearance, because I think this card's becoming more and more popular by the day, because it seems to have so much good utility against a lot of different decks. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We'll see you next week.